Welcome back to I Guess Jess. You made it back to the next episode. This one's called Becoming the Mother I Needed. There's a kind of love that doesn't feel safe. It's the kind of love that makes you hope for consistency, only to be let down again. When you grow up waiting for someone to show up, you learn to brace yourself for disappointment. My mom is alive, but she's unavailable. We have a no contact order because of choices she made. And yet I still love her. I love her in spite of the chaos, in spite of the betrayal, in spite of the heartbreak. Motherhood taught me that love is complicated. It can coexist with grief, anger, and disappointment. It doesn't have to look perfect, but it must be honest. And that honesty has shaped how I love my children today. It has taught me to recognize when love requires boundaries and when patience must be paired with protection. It has taught me that hope is not blind. It must be informed by reality. It has taught me that forgiveness can exist without enabling harmful behavior. I have learned that I can hold my heart tenderly, even when the world has been rough with it. Missing someone who is still alive is confusing. People don't know how to understand it. They assume grief only comes with death. But absence is not only physical, it's emotional, relational, spiritual. There are moments when I instinctively reach for my phone, hoping she will answer differently this time. Moments when I want guidance or comfort or to feel chosen. And every time reality hits. She can't show up the way I need her to. And it opens a wound that doesn't heal overnight. Motherhood amplified this absence because now I know exactly what I needed as a child. I carry that absence, but I also carry determination. I will not repeat the gaps for my own children. I feel the ache in the quiet and the small moments that go unnoticed by others. I feel the longing for a connection that can't be sustained. I have learned that love does not require presence. Sometimes it requires faith, hope, and inner strength. I have learned that absence does not erase love. It simply teaches you how to navigate it wisely. Even in her absence, I strive to be the mother I wish I had, fully present and emotionally available. Her choices are not just mistakes, they're patterns. Patterns that could have been devastating for me if I allowed them to control my life. It took a long time to see clearly that her chaos is not a reflection of my worth. It's a reflection of her struggles. It's not my job to fix her. It's not my job to make her safe. It's my job to protect my children, to protect myself, and to break cycles. This truth is both painful and liberating. It allows me to hold love for her without sacrificing my boundaries. It has taught me that power lies not in controlling others, but in choosing how I respond. It has taught me that clarity and honesty are stronger than hope built on instability. I have learned to discern love from enabling, protection from codependency, and compassion from sacrifice. Every chaotic choice she makes reminds me why I must be conscious, deliberate, and consistent. There's no final goodbye here. There's no funeral, no closure, no definitive ending. The grief is continuous, looping in cycles whenever her absence touches something inside of me. Sometimes it hits in the quiet of my children sleeping. Sometimes it hits during milestones my mom will never witness. Sometimes it hits when I see a reflection of her and myself and wonder how we could be so different. This grief is lonely, but it has also taught me resilience. It has taught me how to be gentle with myself and still keep moving forward. It has taught me how to hold love and disappointment in the same hand. It has taught me how to grieve silently while still showing up visibly. It has taught me that closure is not always external. Sometimes it is an internal choice to heal. It has taught me that acceptance is not giving up, but acknowledging reality while preserving hope. Grief without closure is not weakness. It is the soil where conscious love grows. Becoming a mother was like holding a mirror to my own childhood. I began to notice every gap, every longing, every unmet need I had experienced. My children's cries pulled at old wounds I didn't even know existed. It showed me how I had learned to survive. I learned to survive disappointment rather than process it. It reminded me that some of my responses were shaped by fear, not love. Motherhood became a path of self-discovery. Every bedtime story, every hug, every disciplined moment became a lesson in reparenting myself. I learned to regulate my emotions, to pause, to respond, instead of reacting out of old patterns. I began to recognize the echoes of my mother's choices in myself and to consciously decide what I would keep and what I would break. I learned that empathy must be paired with boundaries, and that love alone cannot teach lessons of accountability. I learned to sit with discomfort and model patience, even when old triggers wanted to take over. Motherhood became a classroom, a mirror, and a sanctuary all at once. I learned that boundaries are not rejection, they are survival. They are love in action, for me and for my children. I cannot allow her choices to dictate my emotional availability. I cannot let her chaos teach my children that instability is acceptable. Setting limits is not betrayal. It's a radical act of self-respect. It's a template for my kids to understand what love with boundaries looks like. Boundaries are not walls. They are bridges built on intention, clarity, and accountability. Boundaries teach children how to navigate relationships without fear or confusion. They teach children that love is safe when it's paired with respect. I have learned that loving from a distance does not diminish my love, it strengthens it. Boundaries allow me to mother fully without losing myself in the process. Compassion does not require self-abandonment. I can feel sadness for my mom without letting it erode my peace. I can send her love without exposing my children to chaos. I can acknowledge her humanity without excusing harmful behavior. This kind of love is conscious, deliberate, and spiritual. It does not rely on proximity or accessibility. It does not weaken me. It strengthens my integrity, my resilience, and my ability to mother with intention. I have learned that love is not blind. It sees clearly and chooses wisely. I have learned that mercy can coexist with accountability. I have learned that compassion includes self-protection. And I can grieve, forgive, and release without giving away my power. This is a different, more mature kind of love, one I am proud to model for my children. Motherhood forced me to confront my unhealed wounds while simultaneously nurturing others. There are moments when I catch myself reacting from old pain. Moments when I feel the tightness in my chest, the quickness in my breath. And yet, in those moments, I pause. I apologize. I repair. I show my children that accountability is a part of love. I show them that cycles can be broken. Healing is not something I achieved before motherhood. It is something I practice every day through my presence, patience, and honesty. I have learned to forgive myself when I falter and return with intention. I have learned that healing does not require perfection, only persistence. I have learned that modeling repair is as important as modeling love. Each day I practice these lessons, I solidify the foundation of stability my children deserve. Everything I'm learning now is shaping what my children will inherit. They are learning what love with boundaries looks like. They are learning that emotional expression is safe. They are learning that mistakes can be repaired. They are learning that presence and consistency are more valuable than perfection. They are learning resilience and accountability through the way I show up. This is the legacy I am choosing. A life where love is strong, steady, and healing. I want them to carry forward a vision of love that is conscious, grounded, and wise. I want them to understand that grief and compassion can coexist. I want them to know that strength is not absence of vulnerability, but presence through it. I want them to inherit lessons that empower them, not bind them. I want them to see that cycles can be intentionally broken and that freedom in love is possible. I cannot control her choices. I cannot force her healing. I cannot change the past. What I can do is surrender the outcomes I cannot hold. I ask my higher power for guidance. I pray for clarity, strength, and patience. I release guilt and shame that does not belong to me. I hold compassion for her and myself, knowing that love is not always about proximity. Sometimes it is about intention and prayer. I trust that my energy, my love, and my choices ripple further than I can see. I trust that healing flows in unexpected ways, even when I cannot witness it. I release expectations and anchor myself in faith. Surrender does not mean inaction. It means peace with what I cannot control. Motherhood has taught me my own strength. It's the power to love fiercely even when it's painful. It's the power to set boundaries without fear. It's the power to grieve, to hope, and to rebuild simultaneously. It's the power to break cycles I once thought I was destined to repeat. Every hug, every bedtime, every lesson I teach my children is a declaration. I am not defined by her choices. I am defined by how I rise, how I love, and how I show up. I am defined by the patience I cultivate, the presence I maintain, and the love I model. I have learned to honor my own story while holding compassion for hers. I have learned that strength is quiet, deliberate, and consistent. I have learned that motherhood is not just a role, it is a practice of conscious power. Every day, I step fully into the woman I was always meant to become. I am becoming the mother that I needed. A mother who is present, consistent, and grounded. A mother who models accountability, boundaries, and love. A mother who understands grief without letting it paralyze her. A mother who can love a parent who is flawed and distant without sacrificing her own children. A mother who chooses healing over repetition. And in this choice, I find freedom, strength, and spiritual alignment. I am learning to honor both love and truth. I am learning to forgive without surrendering my power. I am learning to model strength wrapped in tenderness. I am learning that love is a conscious practice, not a conditional gift. I am learning that my children's foundation is my greatest legacy. I ask for grace today, for myself and for the woman who raised me. I release the belief that it's my job to fix what I didn't break. I surrender the weight of responsibility that was never mine to carry. May I continue to parent with clarity, compassion, and courage. May I trust myself when boundaries feel uncomfortable. May I remember that love does not require self-sacrifice. I send healing where I have no control. I choose peace without guilt. I honor my pain without living inside it. I am becoming the mother I needed, and that choice is changing everything.